Yo, what's that word? 30.12 in the podcast. Got an interview with a special guest today, Coach Ken. How you doing today?
Pretty good, my boy. How about yourself?
Doing well. Here with, with fellow coaches, Chalil and Byron. How y'all gentlemen doing today?
Good, chilling.
Doing good, man. Doing good.
So I'm doing it from the job today, so it's gonna be interesting, but work is work. Um, with that,
Thanks.
my first question is, first of all, what is your hometown and what does football mean to the young kids coming up in your hometown?
Oh, boy. All right. My hometown is Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And football to these kids mean everything. We are literally Mecca of football in the state. Shit, we might be the Mecca of football in the country if you ask me. A lot of people say Texas, but I like to say South Florida on the map as far as that goes. Broward County, we got the most players in the league right now anyway.
I spent a lot of time in Lauderhill when I was a kid, when I was a Jet, so I understand because I'm from South Florida too, but from the other side, from Fort Myers, so
okay.
It's kind of like
I live in Lauderhill, so I get it.
Yeah, for sure. So, all right. So, what high school did you go to, and when did you know you had a chance to play at the college level?
I went to Dillard High School, Fort Lauderdale, part of Broward County. We get a bad reputation a lot, but I love my high school. You feel me? Dillard pride till I die. Contrary to popular belief, bro, honestly didn't believe I was good enough to play college football until I got to college and walked on and made the team.
So,
man,
I was decent in high school, but I didn't get myself a scholarship. I was looked at a little bit, but not a lot, because I was a late bloomer, if that makes sense. I didn't really start making a name for myself till my junior and senior year.
Yeah.
So I really wasn't on nobody's map like that. But I went to FAMU. I grinded out my freshman year, made the team as a walk-on, got a scholarship my sophomore year. So it really wasn't about knowing I can make it. It was just about putting my mind to it and knowing I can do whatever I want to do. So that's what happened.
So where do you think that belief in yourself that you had that grind to be able to come and walk on, like did that stem from somewhere in your childhood, like somebody like a mentor figure or something like that?
I wouldn't necessarily say a mentor. I mean, I had a brother. He did a 10-day contract in the league, and he went to Southern University. So I used to see him, and I was like, okay, if somebody going to a small school like Southern, even though it was just a 10-day contract, he still made it pro in basketball. So if he can do it, I know if I work hard enough, I can do it too.
Most definitely. That sounds pretty good.
So I had an interesting question for you, still pertaining to the high school side. So, especially with you being a coach right now and like players getting NIL deals, besides the cash amount, like what's a company that you might have wanted to partner with on the NIL deal during your high school days?
Man, Nike, bro, all day. I'm a Nike head. Everything Nike with me, from shoes to socks. Even my drawers Nike, boy. I don't play that.
I feel you.
Gotta go Nike all the way, man.
It blows because of school. I coach at an Under Armour school, but I swear that's the only Under Armour stuff I own is just stuff from the school. That's it.
For sure. And everybody probably would have said Nike or Lambo or something like that.
Yeah, something crazy.
So let me see. Do kids ever, like, just not skipping ahead real quick, but I'm just curious about this. Do kids ever ask you, even at like your level, about NIL and things of that nature?
Yeah, sometimes. I mean, I don't really understand it that much because it's kind of new to the game, and now they starting to let high schoolers get it too. But I had a couple kids come to me and ask me about it, and I just tell them like, hey, as far as I know, as long as you're good enough to get one, you can get one. So that's all I can say. Earn it. Get out there. Then leave it all on the field. Somebody will see you doing what you're doing.
So let me ask you this: as a student at a HBCU, do you think have you ever seen any occurrences of being awkward for other races coming to a HBCU?
Definitely. Because we had a couple white kids on the football team. I had what it was an offensive lineman and another linebacker was white.
Mm.
And the offensive lineman, he fit in pretty well, but at the end of the day, they weren't black, so people looked at him a little weird coming in. It was a little hard for him to fit in. They got bullied a little bit, hazed here and there. You know how it go, but
Yeah.
they
So
they fell on.
besides, like, with anything that you could talk about when it comes to that in particular, for them as students or as fellow teammates, like, what would you say, like, did I get it because they other races, but like, what type
Uh-huh.
of prejudice did they receive? Like, you know what I'm saying? Because it's kind of like reverse to many other places in America as far as that right there.
I will say a lot of people look at them funny, like, oh, you know, what you're doing at the HBCU, you know, I'm
Right.
pretty sure you had an opportunity to go to Yale or Harvard or something like damn. You taking a spot from another black dude that could have been out here playing out here probably at home on the couch or something. But I mean, it is what it is. As you get older, you start getting a little more mature and understanding the ground of the situation.
Sure. So why? Okay, so you got a walk on opportunity at FAM.
Mm-hmm.
Why FAM though? Because you could have, walked on at many other places, presumably. But why
Yeah,
FAM?
believe it or not,
What was it?
it was. I have a twin sister, and she got accepted to FAM and enrolled in there,
Mm-hmm.
and I just felt like it'd be comfortable for me to go to the same school she was at. And weirdly enough, I actually wanted to play for FAM. I had a mentor of mine that I grew up, Mr. Mark Howard. He played quarterback for them back in the day. And he always told me, man, you need to go to FAMU and bring the swag back to their football team and yada, yada, yada. So
Yeah.
I always told myself, man, for Mr. Howard, I make sure I go to FAMU. So that's what happened.
So is y'all rivals
That's my
Bethune?
boy. Shout out to Mark Howard, man.
Is y'all rivals
Unfortunately, I
Bethune?
wouldn't say a rival. I love Sister Bethune. I wouldn't call it a rival. I call it more like my little ugly stepsister. But
I feel you.
we pretty much own them boys. But I guess we can call it a rivalry for the professionalism of the situation. But nah, they ain't no rivalry, man. You got to be good to be a rivalry.
Oh man.
So
Hey,
was
hey.
you there? Was you there under Coach Simmons?
No. I played for Jesus, what was his name? Lord, that's crazy. I cannot remember the head coach name. But no, Coach Simmons was a little after me. I'm old
After
school.
you? Okay.
Yeah.
What principles would you say? And this would be one of my two last questions. What principles would you say got instilled in you as a man, being under the leadership of the coach you was under?
Okay, yeah, I was under Coach Joe Taylor and the other linebacker, Earl. Damn, what was Earl's last name? I can't remember my second head coach. I played under two head coaches. But one I did learn from Joe Taylor. We used to they call it Joe Taylor game. Some people call it join the grind. But Coach Taylor, he was all about business, like treating football like it was a job, coming out there giving it your all, just because it's a sport or something you do for recreation per se, don't mean you treat it no other than you did anything in life. So approach it with a level of professionalism, get stuff done, get out there and work. Don't half-ass nothing. Give it all you got. That was Coach Joe's motto per se. Give it all you got. So I would pretty much say I learned that from him. That's how I got there.
So that's real. So my last question, or one of my last questions, will be, for me at least, you played backer. What was your favorite hit? Describe the scene for us, paint it for us. What was your favorite hit as a linebacker?
All right. Funny, I wouldn't say it was a mistake, but I hit the coach called a blitz. It was my job to hit the C. But I knew it was a blitz, but I really wasn't paying attention to the play. I was kind of in la-la land at the time. And I ended up crashing the A. But the center helped on the defensive tackle, and the A was butt naked in the first place. And I had a clean shot on the quarterback. And man, I sack stripped him. I hit him and the ball fell out of his hand, all that. I didn't even recover the
That's
fumble, but
nice.
somebody else did. But that was lit. I got up feeling myself, letting my nuts drop on that one.
Yeah, sack fumble. Oh yeah, that's nice right there.
Yeah. So Chalil, you had any questions?
Yes, I do. First one, like Brock said, you played backer. Did you have anybody that you kind of tried to mimic your game after in the NFL?
A lot of people would say Ray Lewis, but no, that wasn't it for me. I was more of a LeVar Arrington, Clay Matthews type dude. I was a real big Clay Matthews fan. Even though Julius Pepper played more in than anything, I was a real big Julius Peppers fan too. I used to get a lot of my pass rush moves from him, which is kind of where it was easy for me to transition to being a defensive line coach when I got to college. So yeah, but for the most part, I would say LeVar Arrington. That a lot of people, he was underrated. He was a walk-on at Penn State and ended up being pretty much an NFL. Also the GOAT, Lawrence Taylor. You know,
Oh, yeah, sure.
people feared Lawrence Taylor. That was my boy right there.
So, with saying that, so was y'all more of a 3-4 defense? Because it seemed like you mentioned it more pass rushers.
Yeah, we were.
3-4 defense? Okay. All right. That's all I wanted to ask.
Yeah, so even though I was an outside back, I was doing more rushing the quarterback than I was dropping back into coverage.
Gotcha.
Next question I got for you. How did you get into the football coaching scene? Was there like any specific motivation or motivations that led into you kind of pursuing that?
This is the funniest story ever because I had no intentions of being a coach, bro. I graduated with my degree in sports journalism. I told myself I was going to be an anchor on ESPN, somebody news station or something. A guy by the name of Eddie Frazier, he passed away a few years ago, but guy by the name of Eddie Frazier, he knew me from high school. He was more of a mentor to me too. I got a call from him one day. He was like, "Yeah, so our JV season starts so and so. You're gonna be my defensive line linebackers coach." I was like, "Wait, I'm gonna be what?" I was like, "How you just gonna tell me I'm gonna be your coach? I didn't ask to do this." He was like, "Yeah, I know you didn't ask. You didn't say nothing, but I know you played at FAM and you know what you're doing, so you're gonna coach." I was like, "Man, all right, we'll see how this goes. I'm pretty sure I'm not gonna be good at it." But I had a connection with the kids. From JV, I moved up on the varsity with him. We had 2 undefeated seasons, 1 state ring championship season. So it was just like, from there it was up. I don't know. I found my calling, I guess, if that makes sense.
Yeah, so that's dope.
What team did you have a state championship with?
Dillard High School.
Oh, Dillard. Okay.
Oh, so
yeah, I ended up going back to the same. I ended up going back to the same school.
Oh yeah, I know that felt great, man.
So
how was that feeling, man? Winning the state
because,
championship for your high school.
The year we won was the year that he passed away. He passed away before the season was over with. So when we won, you know, we dedicated to him and stuff. So it was feeling real good to win for him. So
sure.
That was dope.
Does that raise your like, because you know other jobs when you receive acknowledgments and awards and championships that boost your resume and stuff? Would you say that boosted your resume in the eyes of like you trying to move up or anything like that?
I'm sure it did. Yeah, I'm sure it did that. And then a lot of, I wouldn't say a lot, but a few players I got that coached under me, that pretty much boosted my resume. Like I got John Ford, he played D tackle for the Packers. Randy Ramsey, he played defensive end for the Packers, but he a free agent right now. You got Najee Kelly, he's the starting defensive end at the University of Central Florida.
Yeah, I know.
Armando Blunt, he's a starting defensive end at the University of Miami. And he's so good. He left high school a year early and went to college, and he's still starting as somebody who's supposed to be still in high school. So
yeah, I'm a diehard Noel, so I know about both them last 2 guys you mentioned. And
oh yeah, because Kelly was supposed to go to Florida State.
Yeah, yeah. He had a real sentimental story. I don't know if y'all know the story of Najee Kelly. At least what's online. I would advise anybody to go read about it. Great player. I hope he does well at UCF. I know he was dealing with some injuries, but I hope he does well at UCF this year. You go ahead, bro.
All right, and next question I got for you. How did playing football at the high level you play and going through like the trials as a student athlete help you kind of make that connection with your players, not only on the field but off the field?
Oh, it helped greatly. Like just first of all, just playing the game and coming up with somebody who was walking on the scholarship, talking to kids who, you can see potential in them, but, they haven't waked it up yet. Let them know if they keep grinding out, their time will come. Don't give up on stuff. That helped a lot. Playing at a high level gave me a certain level of IQ. 1 second.
No, you're good.
One second, my bad, just voice.
Good. We live. Technical difficulties.
Cut all that out. Yeah, dude.
Oh, shit. All right, I'm back, I think. Can y'all see me? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I'm sorry. What was the question again?
So how to play in football at the high level you played it, and also like being a student athlete going through those trials, how did that help you come to an understanding with your players on and off the field?
Okay, yeah. So as you know, me coaching at Dillard, I was coaching a lot of kids from the hood, if that makes sense. So just teach kids to grind, give them something to grind for, get their mama out the hood, get your head in the books, stay out the streets. Something that I was taught to do when I got the fam, and just, focus on the situation at hand and get there and stuff that happened to you. That helped me relate to the kids. Playing at a high level helped my IQ. So I could see stuff a little different than the kids see and let them know what to do when it comes time to, in game situations, and it kind of helped them see stuff a little better too as well. So that's pretty much how I translated to the game as far as coaching goes.
That's dope for sure. I got two more questions. First one, what is your coaching philosophy if you have one? And is that something that you took from one coach, or you took like different bits and pieces from different coaches?
All right. Okay, I say I took maybe bits and pieces, but the main person I took my coaching style from would be the one who passed away, Eddie Frazier. And his Frazier just give me everything you got, bro. Like, I don't care what's going on in your house. I don't care what's going on across the street. We on the football field right now, so none of that shit matter. Give me everything you got in between these 100 yards, you feel me? And if you give me everything you got, I can't even be mad at the outcome because you gave me everything you had inside you. I also took a couple from my boy Fred Flowers. He's a defensive coordinator when I first started coaching at Dillard. Real aggressive. So I'm an aggressive coach when it comes to calling plays. So a lot of my aggressiveness come from me coaching up under him. Some pro coaches, I was a big fan of Bill Belichick. He's a defensive mastermind. So a lot of my blitz packages and stuff come from studying, plays that he ran when he was a defensive coordinator for the Browns before he even got to the Patriots and stuff. So it runs deep. Once I started getting into the groove of coaching, I started studying other coaches and stuff and picking up other styles and learning what I needed to do. So that's pretty much how I go. And even now, I'll go to coaching clinics here and there, or I'll watch an NFL game like, okay, I like that play. Let me go back and rewind that and see which coach it is. I like his style of coaching. So, it's kind of just like school or whatever as far as being a coach. You can never learn enough. You always keep learning, acclimating yourself with the game.
Yeah, for sure. And the last one I got for you, just a favorite college memory. It doesn't have to be football related, because I had a few friends and cousins go to HBCUs, and they tell me all the time between the pep rallies and the parties that it's always turned. So, I just had to ask.
Oh man, this is a hilarious story, dog. The Kappas and the Qs threw what we would call a pretty nasty party. This was a homecoming weekend. I wasn't playing ball no more at this point. This was my senior year. I was with my boy. I think I got so toe up. I think I jumped out of a moving car.
Oh man.
I don't even care, bro. I don't even remember that most of the night, but I just know I had a blast. And me and him still, when we link, we talk about it. So that may have been my most favorite time in college, probably. I miss them boys, man. Shout out to the FDS crew. But yeah, man.
No,
That
definitely.
was some close. Yeah, we had some good time in college. That was one of the best ones right there.
Oh man. No, it definitely sounds like a crazy time. Yeah, a couple of my questions. First off, since you say you do call plays, how do you adjust your defensive scheme based on like a run heavy offensive style?
Oh, I'm gonna clog them damn gaps.
Okay.
If y'all want to run the ball,
Say,
good luck finding somebody to run that. Plain and simple.
nice.
Because I'm already
Start building
aggressive
the
as it is
whole.
anyway. So if you're gonna keep running the ball, all you're gonna do is play into my hand and have me blitz some more people as it is. So
Okay, so you got that Bill Belichick, like you said earlier, and that
yes,
Rex Ryan
sir.
type offense defense.
Yeah. Yeah. So good luck finding
Okay.
somebody to run the ball. That's what you want to do.
Um. Based on like managing your defensive style, how would you when you're doing something like recruiting, what would be like some of your dream recruiting style players? Like more rush style, defensive blockers, blocking the holes, things like that. How do you build your
Um,
defensive?
my dream recruit player probably would be as funny as it sounds. Somebody like the linebacker I created on NCAA 25, my Road to Glory player.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Tall, but not too tall at linebacker. High IQ, real smart guy, know what's going on around the field, but he ain't taking nothing from nobody. And if you think you're finna run through his hole, you got another thing coming.
Oh yeah, I like that. I like that.
I want to
Certified
ask
head
real
buster.
quick. Having high IQ as a backer, what does that look like? For people that don't play the game, that don't know much about it, what does a high IQ linebacker look like? What does he do on the field?
Okay, most of the times your linebacker, depending on which one it is, but one of your linebackers will be what they call the quarterback of the defense, whichever one has the highest IQ. So a high IQ linebacker would be somebody who you would see screaming around the field pre-play, letting somebody know you need to go here, you need to go there, reading the offense, seeing what's going on, making adjustments, bumping down to the D line, letting the D tackle be in, stop what you're doing, don't do this, do that, or do that, do this type shit, or just somebody that's, I guess you could say, a field general. That makes sense. Kind of like a teacher on the field of it. Not even as far as when the play goes on or what's happening when the ball is snapped, but you'll know who have the high IQ pre-snap because you will see them making adjustments, pre-snap, and that's how you know what's going on with that. Like Ray Lewis, he was a real big high IQ guy. Like you would see him before. Sometimes he would walk back there and talk to Ed Reed and let him know, like, hey, I see the receiver over in the slot. He probably finna run a drag across the middle. Go ahead and bump down a little bit. Ain't nobody threatening you deep. Or he would go and tell the D tackle, hey, y'all make sure y'all crash the C gap because it look like they finna run the ball to the outside. So it's just somebody with a high IQ. They can see what's going on before it happens.
Also, I want to ask you real quick, as a
Mhm.
coach, now with you being a coach, at the high school level, do you think there's an ability to see an NFL player while he's playing high school? Like, is there a certain look that they have about themselves?
Yeah, kind of, yeah. You'll see a kid who physically he built a little different. Even though these days they be kind of skinny, but when I say physically, like it's not more of a look thing. It's the way he's moving. Like he's moving a little faster than everybody. When he hits somebody, he hitting somebody. Or if he a receiver, if he routing up, you see his feet work on a whole nother level than everybody else out on the field.
Mm-hmm.
Those type of people stand out. Like the kid on Mondo Blunt I was telling you about. That even Antoine Jackson, he left high school early too. I could see he would probably more than likely go to the league when he was a freshman. He was and he
Yes.
was we played St. Thomas one game. He picked up one of the best quarterbacks in the state first play off a high IQ play. And right then I was like, yeah, that kid gonna be special. I know he's going to the league. So it's certain little traits you can see in kids that you'll know, like, yeah, that kid gonna be real when he get older.
So no, it's almost like that talent. You can always definitely see the separation for sure.
For sure. For
Um,
sure.
in your recruiting, are you looking for a lot of the players that fit mostly your play style in the playbook, or are you just looking off pure talent of what you see out there on the field?
Honestly, I'll say a little bit of both because you don't want to go without talent, but at the same time, if you can tell somebody really won't fit the scheme or the defense you're running, I wouldn't do that to a kid. Try to recruit him and bring him into my style of defense when I know he wouldn't fit in, and pretty much hurt his stock. have him run around looking crazy in my defense. I know that's not his style, but just because I wanted him so bad, I'll bring him over there. That's kind of pointless as far as helping you and helping him, because you're hurting his stock as far as getting to the next level, and you're hurting yourself because he's not doing what you need him to do in your style of defense. So I'll say a little bit of both, because you can't go without talent. You do want some high talent players, but at the same time, you want somebody that going to fit in and gel with the type of defense you're running.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, no, that's me.
Have you is it a real thing? Because again, we all play the game. We all play NCAA 25 and stuff, and they talk about things like pipelines. Like, is that how is it beneficial to build that relationship as a coach with other coaches down there, particularly in your area where you come from in South Florida?
Oh, that's real important. That pipeline real, because South Florida got all the speed. So if I'm best friends with a coach from South Miami or best friends with a coach from North Broward or Dillard or something, and I know at the end of the day he gonna tell his best player, hey, talk to Coach Ken real quick. Right. So I might not necessarily get that kid, but I know I have an advantage of talking to him before anybody else do and trying to get him. And set my team or my defense per se on a different level than most teams. Because believe it or not, that pipeline stuff for real coming from South Florida, the speed is crazy. Coming from Texas, that power is insane. California, they got good speed, got a good balance of speed and power. So that pipeline it definitely makes sense depending on what area they come from.
And our final question, what I want to ask is, what do you hope to get out of your coaching career? Like, where do you hope to take it?
I wouldn't be upset with coaching in the NFL, but it's not really a big dream of mine. But I definitely would love to, coach D1 Power 5 football, maybe in the ACC, SEC, or something like that one day. So I can definitely see myself trying to, get that. I mean, I interviewed as a grad assistant from Colorado when I was up there a few years ago. I was that close to getting it, but Dion, he wanted more names as well, so I get that. But I mean, hey, I don't compare to Warren Sapp, so I'm not mad at that at all. So
yeah, Warren, yeah.
Yeah, I feel that.
But I definitely would want to coach D1 Power 5 football. I mean, like I said, I'm not opposed to coaching the NFL, but I'd love to coach D1 Power 5.
As a person that's, I'm in school to get my sports management degree, and other people that's probably going to listen to this, and, we got a coach on, how does a person, you kind of stumble upon it respectfully, but, how does a person go about becoming something like a coach or get into the sports industry? Because there's not a direct roadmap, seemingly.
Yeah, as far as being a coach, I mean, some people start at Pop Warner, go to your local park, coach the kids up there. Some people start in high school, I started at the JV level, work your way up. It's, it don't really matter where you start. It's just, start somewhere and keep yourself grinding, build your resume up, and take it from there.
I'm out of questions. You fellas have any more questions?
Oh, good.
No, not really.
All right, for sure. Well, hey, it's been a good one. Appreciate you, Coach Ken, for coming through.
Yeah, it was a pleasure, man.
Thank you.
I appreciate y'all having me.
Oh, yeah, for sure. It was a pleasure having you on the show. Like I said,